Good morning. Today is how you're bringing life to your 2022 day 6. Wow. So yesterday was amazing. The launch was amazing. Thank you so much for everybody who got onto the free course and said like, wow, this is awesome and I'm ready. So cool. So for those of you who are watching this and you're thinking, Maya, what are you talking about? Yesterday we launched my free online evergreen, which means you can access it 24/7. It's all yours all the time, always free. But it's about personal reinvention. Now, I didn't want to say that yesterday because, I didn't want to give things away. But now that you're there, many of you know it's about personal reinvention. And that's a really cool thing. So thinking about personal reinvention, reinvention is about understanding that you can anticipate, design, and implement any change you want. And so a lot of what I've been doing for the last 2 years has been learning about reinvention and integrating it into the mindset work I've been doing for the last 30 years. So a lot of folks on this call have been in my classes 12 years ago, 20 years ago. Like it's crazy. So reinvention is actually a 21st century post-COVID new literacy for the planet. And it's something I'm really passionate about. And so my point of how you bring more light into 2022 is from something that I learned from my teacher, Nadia Zexambaiva, and that is a reinvention mindset. My specialty, love reinvention mindset. And you're not surprised based on what we've been talking about for the past 5 days and what we will be talking about. Reinvention mindset is simply that you believe 2 things. Now, I believe a whole bunch more than these 2 things, but these 2 things make it reinvention. Number 1, that change is normal. And number 2, that change is an opportunity to bring more life to any situation. Now, what I love about that is it connects to all the work I've been doing since I was a drug and alcohol counselor, since I got my own recovery as a child of an alcoholic, changed my life, turned my world upside down. Reinvention mindset is actually in the same village, in the same zip code as what I've been doing for all these years. So reinvention is something new that I discovered 2 years ago when my business tanked. But reinvention mindset, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter for me every single day. So bring more light to your 2022 had its roots in something called biomimicry. $25 word, okay, $50 word, $50 word. That's just about looking at nature and remembering that humans are living beings that are part of nature. We're not computers, we're not machines, all the things that we've gotten from the Industrial Revolution. We're beings, we are part of nature. So what can we find in nature that will inspire us to be more human, to be more purposeful of what we're doing on the planet as one of the other species that lives here? So all that to say, my personal reinvention course, Make Change Your Superpower, was the big launch yesterday. I was so excited. I could hardly breathe. You saw me. You saw what it was like. And it was also the anniversary of Chuck Beatty from Exxon calling me up and basically inviting me to start the journey to spend the rest of my life with him. So big anniversary. Today's another anniversary, and today's a really special day in my world. So I'll start with a really special day in my world because back in the 20th century when I was growing up, hi, good morning, this was the Feast of the Epiphany. 3 kings, the light, the star, oh my, light. But what I remember about Epiphany is 2 things. One is that this is when we had to take the Christmas tree down. So we could put it up on Christmas Eve. You know how people put it up at Halloween now? Christmas Eve, the tree went up. January 6th, no matter what day of the week it was, the tree came down. So it was a passage. It was a marking space of, okay, now it's the new year. Now we have to move forward. And what are you going to do with your year? The other thing is that it gave me the word epiphany, which is one of my favorite words in the world. Epiphany is like, oh, I get that. So turn the light on. I love that. So I'm turning the light on. And that's what I'm doing for this whole month of January. And I had no idea till this morning. I didn't remember that memory until I got to Epiphany and went, oh, wow, okay, Epiphany, light. Now, the next exciting thing that I've been celebrating for the past 31 years, because 32 years ago today, I feel like I was kind of struck by lightning. That was, remember that date that Chuck called me for yesterday? Well, it turned out to be dinner and conversations and back to my apartment for tea and watching TV that we weren't doing and talking, and then heading to his where he worked. At the time, we lived a mile away from where the other one worked, which was 25 miles distance. So I worked a mile from where he lived, and he worked a mile from where I lived, and it was 25 miles away. Anyway, so we were at my apartment, and it was just a mile to go to his office where he was a petroleum geologist. Big, long story, doesn't need to be told right now, but what does need to be told right now is he had such life and such light that I was pretty blown away. So he was showing me something. He was like, had this big, he found oil and gas for a greater America. And so there's these big white sheets of paper that looked like chickens had been scratching all over them with black ink. And so he put this under his chin, and he's got these things called well logs, and that was like an EKG. You've seen that EKG thing? It looked just like that. And he's showing me how it's like, and what happened to me is that I felt like I had just been struck by lightning. I knew in that moment that this was forever. And it scared me tremendously. As we say, it scared the crap out of me. So it took me a minute to actually connect to what I was really feeling. And you know what? That happens to all of us. Something hits you, lightning strikes, and you're like, but if it's unexpected or brand new, which he certainly was, sometimes it takes a day or two or a week or a month. Fortunately, it only took me a day to go, oh my God, this is something. So that brings me to January 6th today. I'm celebrating Epiphany every year, all the time. Every year I just go, wow, I had an epiphany and it was you. And celebrating the gift, the treasure that is 32 years of being married to this man who is amazing. And okay, we didn't get married on January 6th, but I figured that moment, that was the marriage of our hearts. So we said a couple of days ago that you can make anything mean anything. So on January 6th, 2022, I make this day mean full of light. Full of light, full of joy, full of peace. And why? Because we've got things to do. Everything we do on this planet matters. And what I'm up to is bringing more light and more life to my world and to the world of everyone who interacts with me, whether it's on Facebook Live or whether it's in the street. And that's a commitment that I have. And so, how do I do that? How do I do that? Like, there's so many things that are happening in the world that would make you kind of go, really? But here's what I want to share with you, and here's what I invite you to try yourself. Every morning that we wake up, remember, something amazing is going to happen today. That helps me every time I say it. But every morning that we wake up is a new chance to do something amazing and cool. And it actually really doesn't matter what has happened up to yesterday. That's how I live my life. It doesn't matter what has happened up to yesterday. Yesterday's gone. Because the only moment I've got power in is right now, right here, which is why I'm spending it with you. So what are you going to do with your epiphany? What are you going to do with your day-to-day? And how are you going to bring more life to yourself? And if you have more life, the world has more life. So one of the things that I'm thinking about doing for the next 25 days, because when you think about it, these first 5 days was us just getting to be excited to be together. And it's, the end of Christmas, and Epiphany is the day where you go, okay, we've celebrated, we've enjoyed ourselves, and now what are we doing for the rest of this month? What are the things we're going to bring into conversation? So here's my commitment to you. I will be sharing little bits and pieces of strategies. Each day, I'm going to bring a strategy. Now, I didn't know I was going to say this until I said it right now, but it sounds like a really good idea, don't you think? So I'm going to bring one strategy each day and share it with you. And then on Friday, because today's Thursday, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, hi there, my new eyeball. Tomorrow is Friday. So at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I know that Chuck's going to figure this out. Right now, we're updating my website because all of this stuff that we've done that landed in this new course actually requires that the website is so exciting. Give us 2 days. You can look at my website on Saturday because, oh my God, it's been reinvented. There's absolutely more light and more life. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to set it up so that we have an hour. We won't take more than an hour because it depends on how many people are there. So minimum 30 minutes. We're just going to hang out. I'm going to invite you, if you want to come on camera. I'm going to invite you to say whatever, ask whatever. And so we can kind of hang out with each other. It's not just me, it's all of us. So every day, starting on Saturday, and oh, by the way, Saturday we have some jobs to do between Saturday and Wednesday. So my Facebook Lives are going to be interesting. You're going to catch me in real time using my strategies to bring more life to a situation that could be a little bit challenging. So you know what? I don't know what you'll find, but I promise you, I'll bring you with me. And we'll just take it one day at a time. If there is something you want to know about, if there is something that you wish you could bring more light to, and you're thinking, we'll talk about this, I invite you to ask me for anything, because I will. Other than that, I will just get a feeling about what I should share with you, and then I'll just share with you. So, happy Epiphany. I'm wishing you, as always, an amazing day. And I invite you to think about, A, what you want today to mean for you, and how you want to start this next year. And I invite you to look around for things that serve you and look around for things that bring you joy. So, I'm Maya Beatty, and I'll see you next time.